Yahweh started to teach me that He wanted me to share this with you, a very important lesson that we must learn from Gideon. Whereas God used Gideon mightily to tear down idolatry in his humble beginnings, in his old age, he was ensnared by idolatry. Shabbat Shalom, YouTube. So on this day of Shabbat, Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, which YAHUVEH, YAHUSHUA, and the precious Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, has set aside as the day holy unto them. There's no other day except Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. This is the day that we honor Him and we bring Him the glory. I wanted to share with you first something that my father, Dad Ezra, has taught me. Something that we all need to be doing as children of God every day. And it's the first thing that you do in the morning. Every day I'm given revelation and given wisdom from heaven about what He wants me to do and how I am to walk that holy life that He's called for me to walk. And that is when you wake up in the morning, you give Him the first fruits of your lips, and that is thanksgiving and praise. The word says, enter into my courts with thanksgiving and with praise. So the first thing I do is to sing a song of worship, and then I thank Him for giving me the strength to get up each day and to go out and do what I need to do for His glory. You see, the problem with many of the Christian community is that they do not know how to give Yahweh thanks and praise. They do not follow the proper protocols of heaven, and because of that, many times their prayers are hindered. They ask Yahweh for something, but they do not walk in obedience to what Yahweh has established how to receive from Him. And because of that, they have delays in their prayers. The requests for wisdom and understanding is not given because you're not walking in obedience. So this is something that, my father, Dad Ezra, who is head of a Mighty Wind ministry, has taught. That's something we're supposed to put into practice. So I just wanted to start off with that. Now, I took to prayer what Yahweh, the first thing I did was I asked Him, what would you like for me to do for you today? Abi Yahweh, Yahushua, which is Hebrew for Jesus Christ, what would you like for me to do today? And Ruach HaKodesh, Holy Spirit, what would you like for me to do today for you? And when I do that, they give me wisdom, and that I rejoice in. So what Yahweh was teaching me was from Judges 6. So I was praising and praying, and I read Judges 6, and this is what He taught me. There was a man named Gideon who Yahweh God had chosen to lead the children of Israel out of the oppression they were suffering from the Midianites. Now, Yahweh had to deal with Gideon in a very unique way because Gideon had an issue. And that issue was he was a man of little faith. He lacked faith. And I'll read a little to you in Judges 6. When the angel of Yahweh appeared to Gideon, he said, "The Lord is with you, mighty warrior." "Pardon me, my lord," Gideon replied, "but if the Lord is with us, why has all this happened to us?" Yahweh returned to him and said, "Go in the strength you have and save Israel out of Midian's hands. Am I not sending you?" "Pardon me, my lord," Gideon replied, "but how can I save Israel?" Yahweh answered, "I will be with you, and you will strike down all the Midianites, leaving none alive." And Gideon replied, "If now I have found favor in your eyes, give me a sign that it is really you talking to me." And Gideon said to Yahweh, "If you will save Israel by my hand, as you've promised, look, I will place a wool fleece on the threshing floor. Then Gideon said to God, "Do not be angry with me. Let me make just one more request. Allow me one more test with the fleece, but this time make the fleece dry and let the ground be covered with dew." And that night Yahweh did so. Now I summarized those scriptures in Judges 6. You can go there for yourself. It's all there. But this was to show us how much Gideon relied on his sight and relied on signs to actually believe Yahweh. Now, knowing that Gideon was a man weak in faith, always looking for a sign, Yahweh God gave him these signs to build his faith. He gave him these signs to help him to gain courage to do what Yahweh has instructed him to do. So why would Yahweh deal with him? If the word says, without faith it is impossible to please God. Yahweh dealt with him because he saw he was a humble vessel and was willing to do what Yahweh told him to do. He just needed some help. So Yahweh used signs to help him all along the way. Now, Gideon was used by God to deliver Israel and was used by God to tear down an idol that held Israel in bondage. He accomplished the mission. And again, Yahweh helped him and built his courage and his faith with signs along the way. These were all very good, humble beginnings for Gideon. But Yahweh started to teach me that he wanted me to share this with you, a very important lesson that we must learn from Gideon. Whereas God used Gideon mightily to tear down idolatry in his humble beginnings, in his old age, he was ensnared by idolatry. Sad but true. And I'll read it to you. Judges 8:27. Gideon made the gold into an ephod, which he placed in Ophrah, his town. All Israel prostituted themselves by worshiping it there, and it became a snare to Gideon and his family. Now, how is that possible? How does Yahweh use a man for his praise, honor, and glory to lead people out of idolatry for himself to be ensnared by idolatry? How does that work? Now, the word says it is impossible without faith to please God. Yahweh gave signs to Gideon once again, not only to build his courage, but also to build his faith. Now, what Gideon failed to do was actually allow Yahweh to build his faith. And that's what resulted in idolatry. He relied on signs, things that he could see to believe God. So Satan used things that Gideon could see to lead him into idolatry. That's why Yahweh says in his word, without faith, it is impossible to please God. Impossible. Yahweh's purpose for Gideon was to deliver Israel and for Gideon to rely on faith, not on what he could see, not on signs, not to rely on these things because he knew what it would lead to and lead Israel to. And so Yahweh is commanding us the same when he tells us to walk by faith and not by sight. When he tells us to trust him, he's actually trying to protect you spiritually from the spirit of idolatry that is actually waiting to ensnare you because of the weak faith. You have to have faith. And this is why Yahweh and Moses were so grieved with Israel. Yahweh just wrote on 2 tablets of stone, saying in Exodus 24, "You shall not make for yourself an image in the form of anything in heaven above, or on the earth beneath, or in the waters below. You shall not bow down to them or worship them. For I, Yahweh your God, am a jealous God." Now, by the time Moses goes back down the mountain, they made the golden calf, saying, Exodus 32:23, "For they said unto me," this is Aaron speaking, "Make us gods, which shall go before us For as for this Moses, this man that brought us out of the land of Egypt, we know not what has become of him. They couldn't see God and they couldn't see his servant Moses, so they fell into idolatry. They relied so much on their sight and not on faith. Moses was a man that believed God. And because he believed God, he was also drawn to God. That's why he was the one that went up the mountain. Walk by faith, and Yahweh will draw you close to him. Walk by sight, and you're in danger of idolatry. And that's what I wanted to share with you this Shabbat. I want to say thank you for listening. God bless you. Please like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon.